schon einiges erlebt. Wir wären fast umgebracht worden. Durch die Hand einer Hexe. Aber das hat uns nur noch stärker gemacht. Wir sind auf den Geschmack von Blut gekommen. Hexenblut.
Do you feel weird or do you have fun to be at the Berlinale where everybody is trying to be serious and has all these important movies with deep messages, and you have a movie that's so shamelessly over the top and entertaining?
Well, that's why we did the movie, to entertain.
I think a lot of the movies that are picked at festival these days, even though they may not be as obviously, shamelessly, whatever we want to call them, popcorn type of, entertainment, there's still an element to that too, because they were all put together in a way where it was about money, like which is the star with the highest, star power or money tag attached to them or whatever. I'm not cynical, I'm just being realistic.
I think that there is so, it's nice sometimes. Like we've both done very heavy stuff in the past, and that's great as well, and obviously and often sort of very satisfying, gratifying as an actor. But then it's great to shake out sometimes and just do one for fun, and that's what this was. And also we shot it in Berlin, so it feels like a nice place to have a premiere.
I come from Norway, and my movies there has always, I think, separated itself because Norway is a very serious film country. And my movies has always been the odd child where people go and have fun. So I'm actually used to it, but it's fun, and it's crazy to think about. Yeah, we're here with all those deep and serious movies, but hopefully it's a good mix.
Mein Name ist Gretel. Und das ist mein Bruder Hänsel.
Ich lasse mir nicht bieten, dass Sie mir sagen, was ich zu tun habe.
Wie tötet man am besten eine Hexe?
Kopf abtrennen hat sich bewährt.
And you have a very good evil witch.
Yeah, we really wanted somebody that had a lot of strength in that role, and Famke certainly brought a physicality, just her literally her body size and type and the way that she moves, which is very athletic. She was terrific. We were thrilled when she decided she wanted to do the picture.
It's really interesting to see yourself transform into something entirely unrecognizable. If I hadn't been asked to play myself normally in the beginning, in certain parts of the film, nobody would have known I had inhabited that character, that was me. So that's just not very often in one's career do you have the opportunity to really transform yourself into something else. So it was fun.
Did you both grow up on the original fairy tale, or was it? I don't know how well it is known
It's well known. I just don't know if it's not as big as it is here, but it's enough to where people are familiar with it for sure.
Yeah.
The Grimm stories were big, of course. Hänsel and Gretel was my favorite fairy tale. I had it on one of those cassettes I actually listened to, and it scared the hell out of me. But we have a lot of unique fairy tales from Norway as well, and a lot of trolls. Our stories are very troll heavy. That's why there's a troll in the film. I borrowed a little bit from our Norwegian stories as well, but this was always my favorite growing up, and it just scared the hell out of me.
Snow White scared me, the Little Red Riding Hood scared me. I mean, not Snow White herself or Little Red Riding Hood, but the big wolf and the witch and the whatever. I mean, it's just, they're scary stories, and they've really withstood time. They keep being alive, and people want to hear or see them or read them over and over again, and now there's a different interpretation, which I think was smart to do.
In den letzten 2 Wochen wurden 5 unserer Kinder entführt.
Eine Hexe würde sich nie so öffentlich zeigen. Ich glaube nicht, dass wir Hexen jagen. Hier läuft irgendwas anderes.
I heard that the movie had to be trimmed down because of the violence. Is there any truth to that?
No. It's very R-rated, the film. It ended up in a very gory and fun place. It's all about the tone, the balance of tone. How far do you go? And we wanted it to be an action film first and foremost, an action adventure film, and then have some horror and gore elements and some humor. So of course we adjusted things in the cut. So we took out some of the gore, we took out some of the humor, and hopefully getting the balance right. But yeah, there will be a version on the Blu-ray that is a lot gorier and funnier, but It's we for the cinematic release, we're really happy with the mix of it. But yeah, of course, there will be a version where everything is thrown in, and I'm sure the fans would like it. Yes. But this is actually this was the version we wanted to go out with, and I'm really happy. It's surprisingly gory, I would say, for a Hollywood studio film.
Did it mean something to shoot the movie in the country where the original fairy tale was based on, or where?
Yeah.
I mean, shooting in Babelsberg was pretty cool. It's a pretty famous studio.
As we started to figure out where in the world we might go, Germany became very attractive for both Studio Babelsberg and the forest locations and some of the locations in Saxony where we shot. And then there's a terrific rebate here that also helped, and the fairy tale was part of delivering that.
Did you learn any German phrases while
Not
you
that I
were-
could speak on camera, so.
Me too. I'm afraid to say the only stuff I learned is rude, which is really bad. It's always the first thing
I learned
you
some
learn.
very lovely things, and I learned some very awful things. And I only remembered the very awful things.
I think German is a good language to curse in.
Yes, it is.
But it's
wonderful.
also a lovely language. It's got a softness to it.
It's hard to curse in French because it always sounds lovely.
I don't think it does. Sometimes it sounds like in French, you know. Yeah, like French hip hop. You heard French hip hop? It's great because it's like really aggressive. Love it.
We live in times where everything has to be politically correct. So, were there any witch groups that felt offended by the movie, that said we've put years and years to telling people witches are basically good and there's Wicca culture and all that stuff, and now your movie slanders all of that and says
Burn them
witches-
all.
Burn them all.
Burn them all.
So,
But as we learn in the movie that there are good witches too.
Yeah, burn them too.
what is it with Hänsel? What is it with you?
He's got issues. He needs to go and see a shrink.
Ich sage, verbrennt sie alle.
Have you any favorite movies?
The favorite movie, which I don't think will be as big here, but I hope that it is the one that I'm making next, which is Anchorman 2.
You producing Anchorman 2?
I'm one of the producers, yes. I work with Will Ferrell and Adam McKay, who are producers on Hansel and Gretel. And so we start shooting in a month, and it comes out Christmas. So that's the most exciting thing that's coming next.
So you're going to become my hero.